Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday, and I hope you guys are prepared for some really cool Christmas-themed command block creations. I have 15 of my favorite from this time's submissions, and I hope you guys stick around to the end because my 3 favorite are going to be at the very end. Hope you guys enjoy. First up by NaCryst, we have this Christmas-themed command block that just opened us up, and it's a really good Christmas-themed command. There's a lot of work going into the FMBE present here that you guys are seeing, but also just, I just really like how Christmas themed. Obviously the challenge was either Christmas or winter themed, but I really like the ones that are actually specifically Christmas themed. And a really good job on this. The visuals look great, the star on top of the tree looks really good, and that would have taken some work. So like I said, the FMBE is to actually make the present. So overall, good job NaCryst. Thanks for opening us up with something Christmas themed. Next up, I painted this too. I'm actually going to skip ahead a little bit in this video. So there is a custom crafting recipe that he has with this crafter here. I'll let you guys, of course, the full videos will be linked in the description so you guys can actually visit the full version of each of these creations and support the creators. But this is just a really thematic and, you know, festive firework system. So a whole bunch of FMBEs are being used here, and spilling something out like this does take a lot of time and a lot of effort to actually get it to basically be right. So this is why I painted this too, and I'll skip ahead because he shows a couple other firing off of this firework, but I think it's a really good job. It's very festive. I like how it actually he shows it more in the next one, but it actually like explodes and has the brightness, but then it actually fades into smoke, so you can sort of see that one, but this one's a little bit up closer so you can see it even better. So it comes in, then it gets bright, then it sort of fades out into like smoke and just sort of fades away. So very good job on this one. I painted this too. Very cinematic, very keeping in the festivities. Next up, by N Charter, we have Santa's Sleigh. I think, once again, not all of these are Christmas themed, some of these are winter themed, but this is a very good Christmas themed one. Of course, making use of the Happy Gas and using the cows to be the reindeer, I think is really fun. Of course, it even comes with like a little speed boost, so you can actually get around. It actually looks like a pretty fun vehicle to fly around on top of the fact that, of course, well, it's just Santa's sleigh, and, you know, who doesn't love Santa's sleigh? Of course, you can, of course, mount it in air. Of course. I don't know what I'm saying. Merry Christmas, guys. Next up by Obsidianclimber commands.
Hello,
he has this
everybody.
ice wand, but I'm going to let him speak for himself.
This is my submission for the winter coding challenge. And hopefully if this got posted, you're seeing this, so hi Guppyduck. This is Frost Catalyst. It's just like a powerful ice wand. The first spell is Snap Freeze. It's nothing very special. You just freeze all enemies around you, slow them, and deal some damage. Good for crowd control, but yeah, it's not the strongest. Then there's Ice Crag. You can kind of shoot out this tendril of ice. Sounds are a little glitchy, sorry about that. And it leaves behind this ice wall, so you can use it for cover too. So those are the 2 like basic ice spells which the nomads that inhabit the northern mountains use. This is for my RPG game, there's a lot of lore. Then there's the Ice Flame spells, which were made when the pyromancers of Karim came to the northern mountains and combined their magic with the ice magic. There's Ice Flame Orb. Just throw a basic little orb of magic that will explode upon contact with blocks or mobs. Don't know what should happen there. And yeah, it just deals a lot of damage, it's pretty strong. But it doesn't have that much range, so that is where Ice Flame Spear comes in. I just missed all of this, guys. Wow. It's just a longer range and piercing version. Still has the same like wind explosion thing, so yeah. Then there are the Pale Drake incantations, which are directly like related to the like ice dragons that used to inhabit these mountains that the nomads fought. So this ancient Pale Drake breath. Just shoot out this massive ray of snow and it like leaves behind powdered snow wherever it hits. You can see the boats. It just deals a ton of damage, really wide AoE, yeah. And then this one is my favorite. It is the Ancient Pale Drake Curse. I'm gonna back up for this. Oh. Denji didn't see that. You can summon this massive tornado from the sky. They'll place a lot of snow, and anyone you kill will turn into these accursed mobs. And, the accursed, they will attack any enemies around me if I'm not an ice mage, like if I don't have the wand, then they will actually swarm me and murder me relatively quickly. But right now, they actually cannot. You'll see that they freeze when they're near me. Okay. Whoops. Well, yep, there it is. That's the ice wand.
Yeah. So, great creation by Obsidianclimber Commands. Next up by DracoPlays. Now, technically this isn't the video he submitted. This is actually an updated version of the same concept, but it has a little better boss arena, so I decided to show this one off instead. DracoPlays is making an RPG with a whole bunch of unique boss fights, and this is one of them. And I think it's just super cool. Like, using FMBs to actually make animations like this is not an easy thing to do. So the fact that he did it with commands, super tedious, but actually looks super good. Obviously it has like a boulder throw animation, has I think a grab attack, a whole bunch of different stuff. Of course you can see this on his channel as well as a bunch of other boss fights that he's doing, so I do highly recommend that you check it out if you get the chance. But I do think this, like I said, using FMEs like this is not an easy thing to do, and he did it quite well. I think this is the grab attack right here. He also is using a whole bunch of custom items, as you can see. And I will say, there is custom music being played. I think I'm going to be playing my own music over it, so you won't hear the music that's in the videos. Just copyright reasons, I want to make sure that we're good. So yeah. Overall, really cool boss fight. Like I said, make sure you check out DracoPlays' channel. He has a whole bunch of these boss fights that he's working on. Not just FMB stuff, but a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, make sure to give it a look. There is a boat. That happens. I understand. And there you go. So you defeat the boss, and there's the commands. As you can see, a lot of work went into this one, so definitely a really cool one to show off. Next up, by Polterghast the Human. I will apologize, I actually never played Deltarune, so I have no idea some of the Deltarune stuff, so I'm just going to skip ahead. I'm sure there's some references here that I don't understand. But yeah, basically this attack, whenever you activate it, just summons in like a big winter storm and then leaves the target inside of a giant ice cube. And actually using FMB, it looks like for the ice cube too, which of course FMBs aren't the easiest thing, so another cool point on that. He activates it twice by accident. I'll skip ahead here basically to show that it is, like, fire mobs are actually immune to this attack. So yeah, pretty cool little icicle type attack. Appreciate it. Next up by ND Commands, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. He basically made an entire adventure map, which is like way too big for a command challenge, but he did a good job even on the building as well as the actual stuff that he's going to showcase. So this is sort of a trailer. One thing I will recommend, maybe hit F1 or disable HUD whenever you're recording these things, or use the camera commands so you don't have the little, what you call it, the crosshair in the center. But other than that, he did a really good job in this project. I'm not sure if this is playable. I'll maybe include something in the comments, or Andy should comment something on this and I'll probably pin it or something. I'm not sure if this is a playable map or not, if you can download this, or if there's a realm or something like that. There's some cool stuff going on here. I think he has some like more intense music playing over this, but in editing I'm probably gonna have to remove it and just play some very chill Christmas music, so just ignore that. Just pretend there's intense music playing. But yeah, he's got boss fights, he's got loot, some special attacks, all kinds of stuff. And I will say this one is definitely more Christmas themed than just winter, so I think they did a good job. I think this is a showcase of some of the commands. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on here, so yeah. Just gonna preview some of this. But yeah, pretty cool. A lot of work went into this one, so good job, ND commands. Next up is a music sync Snowman boss fight, and this is one that I really do recommend that you check out on the original channel because I had to remove the music just for copyright reasons. It's really cool with the music especially. It's a great boss fight overall, but with the music it's even better. So please do check this one out on the original channel, which is going to be linked in the description. Yeah, trust me, it's much better with the music that I'm going to unfortunately have to mute. And right here is going to go through and show some of the commands that went into this. As you can see, quite a lot. A lot of effort went into this one, so make sure to check this one out so you can actually hear it with the music. It's much better. Next up by Nhan Tran. We have a pretty cool combo sword, which this one actually looks like a really fun sword to use. There's a couple different abilities, combos, all that kind of stuff. You did a good job with the audio too, which I really appreciate. But yeah, there's a couple different attacks, like a present bomb, which I think that's FMB, I'm not sure. I assume it is. You have like a snowflake tornado thing, which I think is pretty cool. And just a boss fight, he makes a custom boss for this, just for the showcase, which is fun. Okay, yeah, that is FMB because it's your little foxes scream. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty fun to use sword. A whole bunch of abilities that seem pretty smooth. And he just bombed himself. Oh, okay, it's new again. Alright, next up by Helloiamcat, we have the Blizzard Staff. Yeah, I beat you to it. Alright, so let's just skip ahead a little bit to the showcase. So I think he has a custom crafting recipe. So you guys can see that here. Then it gives you a fishing rod. And so we'll show you some of the abilities. So of course you can switch between abilities. The first one is the Ice Path. And he describes it as like Frozone's Ice Path from Incredibles. So you guys can sort of see how that's working. Great for transportation. Absolutely. And then the second one is the Snow Bullets. So pretty cool, almost like homing missiles, because I think you can actually control them by the way that you're looking. So they do look really cool, especially when you're changing direction and you see a whole bunch of them in the sky. And so I think it's going to show them. I believe it also freezes enemies, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Once again, I keep beating them to it. So overall, pretty cool creation. I do really like the visual of like seeing all the snow bullets firing at one time. I beat you to it again. I'm sorry, I'm not even trying to do this. I did watch the video ahead of time, but I forgot what lines he had in it. I just beat him to every single line that he said. Once again, Helloiamcat, that is the Blizzard Staff. Next up by Slimebob, who of course has been in a lot of these showcases, is making the Ghost of Rudolph boss fight. Now what he does is he puts these items in the barrels to summon it, and I'm actually going to skip ahead past that, just to where he's already put everything in. So luckily he does the job of editing some of the stuff for us. I do like how you can still see the red nose. Also really do like the visuals for the frost explosion. I thought that looked just like with the wave and the camera ice coloring and then the blindness. I just thought that looked visually really cool. I think the red nose beam actually looks pretty cool visually too. Get you some particles there. I can tell there's a lot of armor stands because you can really see the video start lagging in this section. At least I'm assuming a lot of, well, I guess it's probably just the particles lagging the armor stands, but a lot of lag from that attack. This is another cool one, although the one thing I would suggest for this one is have the armor stand summon either below or above the arena, and then move the particles up or down, because obviously the player's interacting with the armor stands there, which you don't want. So boom, you get some loot, you get levels, all that kind of stuff. So, pretty cool boss fight. Once again, shout out Slimebob. And next up we have another boss fight. We're not done with boss fights, don't worry. This isn't even the last boss fight. So this one is by FloodDestroyer. Also made Untitled Commands, of course. So we have a two-phase boss fight. And yeah, you'll see here in a sec. Going to... Basically, you have to be at night to summon him. I think you have to throw a pouch on the grounds. Stranta. Because it's, you know, stray Santa, of course. So there's the giant death beam that spawns in the middle, which I think is pretty cool. So then basically you have to fight these turrets that are spawning in on the two ends of the arena, and they're kind of throwing these like magic swords at you, basically. It looks like there's also some strays trying to... It's just regular skeletons up top that are sniping you at the same time. So, yeah, every so often this giant laser spawn that blocks off the middle of the arena. It looks really cool, but it uses a lot of particles, so I don't know what kind of lag that generates. Could probably do with less to do less lag, but whatever. There's also some baby zombies that are going to spawn in the middle of the fight. They also make it just a little bit more annoying for Phase 1. So there's a lot of cool stuff going for Phase 2. Or sorry, for Phase 1, I mean. You have the turrets, you have all these visuals. So, I mean, that's more or less it for Phase 1, so I'm going to go ahead and skip to Phase 2. So, of course, you have to whittle down his shield by taking out the turrets. Then you have to get to the center of the arena. He explains that totems on dying don't really work here. Now, I will say Phase 2, visually it's still pretty cool, but there is just an element of, okay, you're just hitting the stray. I do think there could be a little bit more interesting stuff for Phase 2, but still, it's a very good boss fight, and I like how you have a custom arena and everything built for it. Pretty cool. So I'll just skip ahead. Basically, he does not win this boss fight. I'm not gonna lie. Where is it? Now, of course, because the stray is using an axe that does disable the shield, and Stranta Claus got him. Get wrecked. So, but yeah, that's more or less the boss fight. Thank you for watching. Have a Merry Christmas. Alright, lastly, we're going to get into the top 3, which are, of course, my 3 favorites of this challenge. First one is by Kelderio. I just really love the cinematic approach to which he made this video, as well as the cinematic approach of the creation itself. Not necessarily the most complicated creation in this tutorial, but I just really like the way it looks. Visually, did a lot of work into the visuals. This level of FMB stuff is not easy, it's pretty tedious. So I think he did a really good job on how it turns out, and also it's just very Christmassy. So of course he has these gifts that give you different presents, have an actually unwrapping animation, which is super cool. Like I said, not the most complicated, but I just think it's really fun, cute, Christmas-themed way to finish it out. These are the commands for it. Next up, we have the Frost Fang with Fiammetta, the design type of the video. There's just a ton of cool visuals that go into this sword, a whole bunch of custom attacks. Of course, it's with commands. You can see all the commands in the background. There's just so many particles going on. So many things, camera, commands, particles. The snowflake double jump looks sick. I'm not gonna lie. There's just a ton of cool stuff. It's like icicle rain. There's just so many things going on. FME, ice spikes. I mean, this is just intense. Also, giant FMBE statue of a player. Overall, pretty sick. So, that's second place just because look at all those commands. He did a ton of work. Once again, Fiammetta with the Frost Fang and Sword. Really, really good job. Love the visuals. Love everything about it. Finally, in first place from Mango, we have this Frost Sentinel boss fight. Once again, Mango just did a really good job on this. Recently featured a minigame by Mango, but he just did such a good job with every element of the boss fight. I don't even think I have to talk here. It pretty much speaks for itself. You have the sword that's like a tornado at first and then splits into different swords. I know it speaks for itself, but I'm going to speak for it as well. But just the way the different phases work, of course, using the, what's that add-on pack for the better animations? I can't think of what it's called, and I'm sure the comments could correct me. But I mean, this is just a really good boss fight. Use of FMEs. The different phases all feel really different in a lot of ways and feel really cool. The particles, the animations, the camera command usage. The way that the camera command shifts, and then like the entire gameplay shifts, because now you're playing like a chessboard dodging game. You have to use the ice spikes to dodge the incoming attacks. It's so unique. There's so many different elements to this boss fight, even though he messes up, which I just think is really cool. Of course, it goes back into the damage phase of things. And I really like how like the boss is like actually damaging the arena as he jumps down. I think the ice changes like what type of ice it is every time he slams. So you're like playing Sleigh for a little bit. And then boom, you like all of a sudden drop arenas. And then you're playing tennis with the boss, which I think is really funny. You know, FMBE ice tennis, of course. My favorite Christmas tradition. Also, I'm not sure if he built this arena himself, but it does look really good in the background too. And then there's like actually cutscenes in the middle of the fight, which I think is awesome. Of course, FME ice spikes. With particles though. And then as far as I can tell, you're gathering these magma cubes, trying to survive this bullet hell portion of the boss fight, and if you collect all three, you get the final cutscene. I think that's how it works. Yeah, just the fact there's like actually a cutscene to finish off the fight. Just a really cool boss fight. Really good job all around, Mango. Super cool once again. I hope you guys enjoyed all those creations. Remember, the original creators are going to be linked in the description with the link to their actual video. So make sure to leave a comment here to show your support, as well as a comment on the video if you actually liked any of these videos in particular. But yeah, huge shout out to everyone who participated, even those who didn't get in. It's really cool that you guys have all partaken in this, and if you guys want to see more challenges in the future, let me know. But in the meantime, have a Merry Christmas.